guys! Here's my last tutorial on my Suicide Squad series, Killer Croc. In this tutorial, I will incorporate the movie version from the video game version, thus using shades of green than brown. First step is covering my brows with glue stick, but unlike my Harley Quinn and Joker tutorial, I put 3 layers of glue stick to completely cover my brows. It is important to let the glue dry completely after every layer so it will be smooth and not end up clumpy. Now with the nude eyeliner, map out the parts of Killer Croc's face. I started drawing the mouth with all his sharp teeth that looks like it can rip you apart, and then drew his flared nostrils. His nose should appear bigger than your normal nose. That is why you should draw large nostrils using black eyeliner. Lastly, draw his angry eye expressions and major wrinkles on his forehead. After mapping out everything, it's time to put the details of the mouth. I started off by tracing the teeth with black liquid eyeliner and then filling it up with white face paint. The teeth doesn't have to be perfect. That is why I put jagged edges, chips, cracks, and also put yellow stains everywhere. I also used brown eyeshadow to blend in shadows coming from the outer gaps of the teeth. Using the same black eyeliner, I filled in the gaps of the teeth and retraced everything I did earlier so it will look neat. Now we have to conceal the brows by putting foundation with the same color as your skin tone and then set it with loose powder. And then, using black gel liner, trace in the wrinkles and facial lines. Also, cover your entire lid and under eye area. It should be intense black, especially on the corners of your eyes. After painting the nostrils black, I proceeded on painting my entire face with moss green face paint using a cosmetic sponge. I use fast dabbing motion to create texture on the skin. And then, using a thin foundation brush, I also painted the corners of the mouth area and then followed up using a sponge. I used different shades of green in achieving this look. This will give you that realistic feel to the skin. In here, I used brighter shades of green and yellow, strategically placing it on the high parts of Killer Croc's face, the nose, cheeks, forehead, and chin area. This will kinda act as a highlighter, since you're lifting parts of his face using brighter colors. Starting from this step, I'll be showing you the process on my right eye, because if I show you both, this video will take too long. I just traced everything I did earlier using a black gel liner and then blended everything together with black eyeshadow. There shouldn't be any harsh lines, so create shadows even on the perimeter of the mouth. After contouring the nose comes the tricky part, the scales. Here are the 2 references I used in creating this look. One is from the movie and the other is from the video game Arkham Knight. On the center part of my forehead, I drew these large irregular shaped scales. If you look closely, I tapered all corners of every scale, so no scale is the same. On the sides of my forehead are smaller scales, which I just drew on randomly. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, the more random the scales are, the more realistic they'll look. This is the part where I got ticked off because I discovered that my camera had an error and wasn't able to record parts of my look. The scales on my cheeks and the highlights of the scales on my forehead were deleted. Anyway, using black eyeliner, I drew on lines under my eyes and a lot of them, and then drew random scales on my cheeks. There is really no science in doing this. I just followed the photos I flashed earlier and randomly drew these scales. And then, using white face paint and thin brush, put highlights on the scales of your forehead. The highlight should be on the side closest to the center where you're catching the light. Put highlight on the scales and wrinkles on your face to add dimension on these textures. And then you're done. I just popped in my yellow reptile contact lenses and wore my brother's black hoodie just like in the movie. All products used will be listed on the description box down below. If you find this helpful and if you enjoyed watching this, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. See you next week on my next tutorial.